The Doll's Whisper. A tale of vengeance and redemption. The wind howled like a banshee, whipping dust and leaves against the cracked windows of the old mansion. Inside, shadows danced on the crumbling walls, playing tricks on the eyes of the young woman, Kaali. Kaali. Whispering, "Is anyone there?" She clutched a worn-out doll tightly in her arms, its glassy eyes staring back at her with an unnerving intensity. Kaali had inherited the doll from her grandmother, along with the mansion and a cryptic warning. "Beware, for the walls remember." Kaali was an orphan, drawn to the isolated mansion by a sense of belonging. The villagers whispered of its dark past, but she dismissed their tales as superstition. Now, with the storm raging outside and the shadows playing tricks on her mind, doubt gnawed at her. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked from above. Kaali's heart hammered in her chest. She slowly climbed the creaking stairs, the doll's glassy eyes reflecting her fear. The attic was a maze of forgotten furniture and dusty trunks. Kaali navigated it cautiously, the doll's cold porcelain skin pressed against her cheek. The air was thick with the smell of decay and something else, something metallic and sharp. A glint of light caught her eye. It was a small, silver key lying half buried in cobwebs. Intrigued, Kaali picked it up. The moment she touched it, a cold sensation shot up her arm, and a chilling whisper echoed through the attic. Whisper. "Welcome home, Kaali." The doll in her arms twitched, its glassy eyes appearing to widen in surprise. Kaali spun around, searching for the source of the voice, but the attic was empty. Guided by an unknown force, Kaali found herself standing before a locked door. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, with intricate carvings depicting figures in strange costumes performing a ritual. The silver key fit perfectly in the keyhole. With trembling hands, Kaali unlocked the door. A wave of cold air swept past her, carrying with it a scent of rain and earth. The room beyond was shrouded in darkness, but a faint light flickered from within. The hidden room was a stark contrast to the rest of the mansion. It was clean and well maintained, with a makeshift shrine adorned with flowers and incense sticks. In the center of the room stood a wooden box, its surface carved with the same strange symbols as the door. Drawn by an invisible force, Kaali approached the box. As she placed her hand on it, the doll in her arms suddenly became heavy, its glassy eyes staring intently at the box. Whisper. "Open it, Kaali." The box creaked open, revealing a collection of ancient scrolls and a tarnished silver locket. Kaali carefully picked up the locket and opened it. Inside, a faded photograph stared back at her. It was a picture of a young woman who bore an uncanny resemblance to herself. "Kaali. Who are you?" A wave of dizziness washed over Kaali. Images flooded her mind. A young woman locked in the attic, tortured by masked figures. The woman's cries echoed in her ears, filled with pain and fear. Kaali. Gasping. "Stop it." The vision faded, leaving Kaali breathless and disoriented. The doll in her arms was cold to the touch, its glassy eyes filled with a deep sadness. Whisper. "Those who seek revenge must first remember the past." Kaali clutched the locket tightly, a cold resolve hardening within her. She would avenge the woman in the photo, even if it meant facing the dark secrets hidden within the walls of the mansion. Kaali spent days deciphering the ancient scrolls, piecing together the tragic story of the woman in the locket. Her name was Lakshmi, a young woman who had been tricked into marrying into the wealthy family that owned the mansion. She had been subjected to years of abuse and torture before being murdered and locked away in the attic. The scrolls also revealed a ritual for summoning spirits, using the silver key and the locket as conduits. Kaali knew it was a dangerous path, but she was determined to give Lakshmi peace. Under the pale light of the moon, Kaali stood before the makeshift shrine, the doll clutched tightly in her hand. She chanted the ancient words, each syllable filled with the weight of her resolve. The air crackled with energy, and the shadows danced wildly on the walls. A cold wind blew through the room, extinguishing the candles. The darkness seemed to solidify, taking the shape of a woman with haunted eyes and a sorrowful expression. It was Lakshmi, her spirit finally free. Lakshmi, whispering, "Kaali, my descendant. Thank you for remembering me." Lakshmi recounted the horrors she had endured at the hands of her family. The betrayal, the pain, the unending fear. As Kaali listened, her rage grew hotter, fueled by the injustice of it all. "Kaali, I will avenge you, Lakshmi. I will make them pay." Guided by Lakshmi's spirit, Kaali found a hidden room beneath the mansion. Inside, she discovered the skeletal remains of Lakshmi and the tools used to torture her. The sight fueled her fury, pushing her to the edge of sanity. Kaali returned to the main hall, where she found the descendants of the family that had wronged Lakshmi. They were arrogant and cruel, oblivious to the darkness that lurked within the walls. "Kaali, you will pay for your crimes." The doll in her arms twitched violently, its glassy eyes burning with an unnatural fire. The shadows in the room writhed and contorted, forming the shapes of tormented souls. Lakshmi's spirit unleashed the full force of her wrath. The room was filled with screams and cries as the shadows devoured the descendants, one by one. Kaali watched with a mixture of horror and satisfaction, her own anger slowly fading away. With her vengeance fulfilled, Lakshmi's spirit found peace. The shadows dissipated, and the mansion fell silent once more. Kaali stood alone, the weight of the past finally lifted from her shoulders. Kaali knew she couldn't stay in the mansion. It was a place of sorrow and darkness. With a heavy heart, she left, carrying the locket and the doll with her. Kaali settled in a new town, starting over. The doll remained by her side, a constant reminder of the woman she had avenged and the darkness she had faced. Kaali knew her life would never be the same, but she was determined to live with the past while embracing the hope of a brighter future. For more videos like these, please like, share and subscribe, and please press the bell icon.